Some had called it high noon, the moment when Boris Johnson would have to face questions about that party.
Would you lie about the parties, Prime Minister?
By the time he set off for the Commons, he had decided it was no longer enough to say wait for the inquiry. He would have to apologise, explain and make an admission.
When I went into that garden just after 6 on the 20th of May 2020 to thank groups of staff before going back into my office 25 minutes later to continue working, I believed implicitly that this was a work event. But, Mr. Speaker, with hindsight, I should have sent everyone back inside. I should have found some other way to thank them. And I should have recognised that even if it could be said technically to fall within the guidance, there would be millions and millions of people who simply would not see it that way, people who suffered terribly, people who were forbidden from meeting loved ones at all, inside or outside. And to them and to this House, I offer my heartfelt apologies.
A work event, he said. But this email inviting around 100 staff came from his office and told guests, bring your own booze. His press secretary has said today the Prime Minister never saw this email. But none of this has been enough for the leader of the opposition.
We've got the Prime Minister putting forward a series of ridiculous denials which he knows are untrue. Yes. A clear breach of the ministerial code. That code says ministers who knowingly mislead Parliament will be expected to offer their resignation. The party's over, Prime Minister. The only question is, will the British public kick him out? Will his party kick him out? Or will he do the decent thing and resign?
The Prime Minister asked MPs to wait for the inquiry being conducted by a senior civil servant. But from the opposition benches, the same call came again and again.
Will the Prime Minister finally do the decent thing and resign?
Can the Prime Minister do the honourable thing and resign?
He must resign.
Is the Prime Minister's fate in the hands of this woman, Sue Gray, the civil servant who will soon report? This Conservative MP says he'll wait for that, but he is plainly losing patience.
I think we're half-time, we're not full-time. I think we need to see what the Sue Gray report has said, but let's make no bones about it. This is not an easy day. This has not been an easy week to be a Conservative member of Parliament.
And some have already had enough.
I said yesterday, if the Prime Minister attended this gathering party event in Downing Street on the 20th of May, then he could not continue as Prime Minister. So regretfully, I have to say that his position is no longer tenable.
He faced a barrage of hostile questions today, but he must be more worried about those who sat largely silent behind him. They are the ones who will decide whether he survives. Andy Bell, 5 News.